Hi, I'm Sue from Movement for Life, and today we're going to work on the glutes and in a side lying position. So step one, and what I really think makes or breaks anything where you have to be lying on your side, is the head position. So I always make sure that either I have a rolled up towel with me or I actually have a little pillow. That's because you want the head absolutely in line with the spine. So if I raise my hand, you can see the gap. So as soon as my head has nowhere to go to, the neck is going to be crooked and at an angle, and we really don't want to be exercising and practicing in this position. We want to be in a neutral spine. So I have my handy towel and I'm going to be lying down sideways. So you can immediately tell that the head is now the neck is now supported by the towel, so my shoulder actually has space to move. If I took the towel away, you can see how the neck is now no longer stable on the floor. It has to work. The neck muscles have to work really, really hard, which creates tension on the neck and the shoulders. So I actually think that how you set up is really, really important when you're doing anything side lying. The basis of Pilates is that everything in its place, and everything before you start needs to be in the right place. So from there, side lying, I'm going to take my feet to about 45 degrees. So I want my heels more or less in line with my bum. My knees are making like a V shape, and we're going to work on what is commonly called in Pilates the clam. Now, step one, you need to find neutral. So what often tends to happen is that the pelvis and everything starts to collapse, and you can see I don't have any gap underneath me. So we need to create that gap and find neutral. So you want to think of lifting up and in. So your tummy lifts up off the ground and in. The other way of looking at it is that you have masking tape running from your armpit all the way down towards your hip, and you don't want to see any wrinkles, so everything stays nice and lifted. This is the neutral position. I always tend to give biofeedback, and I tell my clients take the thumb onto the top of the rib and the baby finger onto the hip, and all three fingers in between. From there, I let everything rest and literally hang out. I'm then trying to create space between that rib and the hip, and my other fingers should clearly feel my lower abdominals becoming hard and sinewy, and that's what we are wanting. Once you've created this hourglass effect, you're going to maintain it, and from there you lift your knee up towards the ceiling. I always think about it as a two-part exercise. Hold that thought while we answer the phone. So, from there, sorry about that, we lift the knee up towards the ceiling. Now, the knee is obviously going to lift itself to a certain point. From there, in your mind, if you keep lifting the knee, the pelvis, you can see how my elbow and my whole body is rotating backwards. That's because the bum cheeks don't want to fire. And in this particular exercise, this is what we really need to get firing. So you lift the knee using your knee. Now, use your lower abdominals and think of that leg coming out of its socket as it rotates and continuously lifts up towards the ceiling. You should immediately feel the glute, the butt muscle turning on. Lower the leg. So I tend to breathe in to lift. I now breathe out as I engage my lower abdominals, and I keep rotating in the socket. So it's not how high the leg lifts, it's how much I'm drawing the leg out of its socket and rotating, and lower the leg. And I lift, and then I think of rotating. So my hips are like headlights of a car. So where my hand is, the hand still faces forward, so it doesn't lift and start to rotate backwards. So every single repetition needs to be done exactly like that. I normally say to my clients, if you can't feel it after repetition number 5, you're clearly not doing it right, because every single time, even after all of these years, I can really feel my glute having to work. So the next part of the exercise, I tend to take my legs nice and long. And from there, if I look down, I can see my big toes. And I want them in second position, almost like I'm doing ballet. From there, we're going to lengthen and lift just the top leg up and lower it. Once again, we're looking for this hourglass shape. You're trying to keep lifted off the floor as you lengthen and lift the leg. I then hold that position and I just statically count for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I then add a little pulse and I do 10 of these. Once I've done 10, I'd lower the top leg to the bottom and I bring the feet so that the toes are pointing towards my nose parallel. From there, I repeat the exercise. So I lengthen the top leg and I slightly lift and lower the leg. And I do this all 10 times. I then hold that top leg up, literally, for a count of 10. And from there, I do 10 little pulses. From there, I bend the knees back into my clam position. Only this time I have my heels slightly off and my feet slightly off the ground. I then lift and lower the knee. So this is what I call my extended clam. And once again, I'm all the time looking for that little gap, the masking tape, running down, and my abdominals to work all the time as I lift and lower the leg. I then hold that position for a count of 10. And from there, I do 10 little pulses. From there, the last one I do, I call these bookends. We want to create, or a fire hydrant for a dog. From there, we're creating a nice 90-degree angle. We're going to lift the whole of the top leg up, and we lower the top leg down. Once again, we lift and lower 10 times. And what you're looking here is once again to keep that length and not shorten. You then hold that leg for a count of 10, and from there you do 10 little pulses. And relax. So you should really feel the glutes having to work. From there, you then come up and you repeat the whole thing on the other side. So, long legs. Make sure that you bring your pillow with you. My toes are nice and long and they're pointed out. Step 1, we need to create clam, so side line. From there, we need to lift our tummy, make sure that we have our hourglass kind of a shape, and you lift the top knee up and down. All the while making sure that your hips are like facing forwards, that there's no rotation. When you can't lift and rotate anymore, engage the abdominals and get the glutes to lift. So what I don't want to see is the leg flapping up and down, and you can see how my whole upper body is moving. You really want to stay nice and still as you lift and lower the leg. From there, you're going to straighten the legs. You're going to turn the toes out as if they are doing ballet position. And once again, you're looking to lengthen and lift the top leg. All the time, trying to create the length down the side from the rib to the hip. Maintain it, hold for a count of 10, and then you do 10 pulses. From there, bring the feet parallel, and once again you lift and lower. You're lifting and lowering the whole of the leg, and you're just trying to get it in line with the spine, no higher, and you're lowering it slightly. Once again, you hold for a count of 10, and you pulse for a count of 10. All of this, once again, is designed to get those glutes to fire. You bend the knees into what is my extended clam. Once again, we're trying to get the glutes to fire as you lift the knee and you externally rotate. The feet and the heels are slightly off the ground, so it just means that you're rotating that little bit more. Once again, you do 10 of these. You then hold for a count of 10, and then you pulse for a count of 10. From there, knees are bent at 90 degrees, and we lift the whole leg up as a unit. Once again, we're looking to create space underneath us as you lift and lower the leg as a unit. From there, you hold for a count of 10, and then you do 10 pulses. Good luck, give them a go, and you should really feel the burn. Now, while we're doing all of these glute exercises, these glutes are really, really important to keep the pelvis still. And if the pelvis is still, then the back is no longer under any pressure. And for me, without a shadow of a doubt, I do these every single day of my life, and they've definitely helped strengthen and support the bum cheeks, which in turn will help the hip, in which I've had a lot of problems. So keep doing them. I've been doing them for about 3 years now, literally, religiously, every single day, 5 times a week. So if you have hip problems, lower back problems, I'm a firm believer in those glutes and bum cheeks really have to fire, and they have to fire in an isolated manner and not cheat by doing squats or lunges where you get your quads or your other body parts to help you do the exercises. Your glutes really have to fire and to work. Good luck, have fun.